The engine is still
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, travelers and those alike. It's time to take away the magic. There we go.
Little too sparkly.
Too sparkly. I can't deal with that one. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am, of course, your quintessential cosmic traveler himself, the Hitman Odell.
And I am Rhonda.
You like that little accent? A little accent's back.
A little bit of accent. I like it.
Come back,
Characters are coming back out.
Woo-hoo-hoo! That means the fun's about to begin, bitches. We hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week and weekend, if you will. Thank you for joining our show. This, again, of course, is the Orion Effect, right here on the Rift Nation Network with my hostess with the most and that. We're doing a triple this week. Not a double, but we're doing a triple. So tonight may go a little bit longer. Luckily, Chris was here on time, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And then right after this, and about 9 o'clock, we go listen to some classic 70s and 80s music because
Yeah.
it's all about our birthday hits.
Which was crazy. There were songs I had no idea came out that long ago.
You know what?
Like, really? I just heard that on the radio. What?
When I heard some of the songs that I saw, I was like, that's no way that was 72. There's no
Right.
way. That's like 78. So, yeah, it tripped me out too. So, this is going to be
Yeah.
a great show.
Yeah.
Tune in. Tune in.
On YouTube.
YouTube only and Twitter or Twitch
Twitch.
and link, but no Facebook because we
Because
won't get
they're ornery about music.
honorary bastards. But it's going to be a great show, a wonderful show. We have someone special lined up for you guys this evening. We're excited. We'll be bringing to him on live in just a minute. But of course, as we always, we talk about the past last week, catching up with you guys. I know you had a busy weekend.
Yeah, I did. I'm exhausted. I'm not even gonna lie.
How did it all go?
It was good. We were out at Hanover Tavern, helping Transcend Paranormal with a public event that they had, and we didn't start till 10 o'clock. So it was 10 to 2:30, which of course meant really 3:30, which meant getting home like 4:30. So it was a good time. That we had a really good group, good activity. I would say good activity. Yeah, so it was a good time. It was perfect weather for investigating last night. That's all I'm going to say.
It was. It really was.
Yeah.
We did not do any investigating last night. We went on a date night.
Nice.
Yep. We were going to go to the murder mystery dinner in Lynchburg, Virginia, but unfortunately it got canceled.
Really?
Yeah, sad to say. We got to the hotel and they're like, oh, well, we're sorry. You should have gotten an email. It was canceled. And I was like, poppycock, how dare you, right?
Well, that's all right. You still ended up going to do something, I'm sure.
We did. We went out to dinner. And did we go out to dinner? Yes, we did. We went to McAdoo's. Our favorite place around the town when it's town. If you like a burger, too. And McAdoo's, you get everything for you. Look at that. It almost looked like I'm doing a commercial. No, promise you not, but it's a great place to check out if you're in the Roanoke area. Down in Dumfries too, and Radford, and a couple places to check out.
Okay.
So we went to McAdoo's. We of course we did the adult beverage evening, if you will, and hung out with some really cool people. And just did some talking. You know, it was nice to get away from the house to somewhere where we could talk and just enjoy. And then when we came back, we really did enjoy. We actually only stayed up probably another hour. We crashed out.
Yeah.
It was a long day. So, and so I saw some great pictures. It looks like y'all had some good fun.
We did. We had a lot of fun, and it was. It's always hard the first investigation after you've kind of had a little bit of a winter break that goes till really, really late. But by next weekend, because we've got to do it again next Friday and Saturday night.
Oh,
yeah, we'll be out at Belgrove with Haunted Nights and the Wraith Chasers. So we've got an event Friday and Saturday night. So it's going to be by the end of next week, and I'll be back on track. But like today was painful. Today was painful.
I bet you were thankful for a little rest, huh?
I didn't sleep though. That's the thing. Sometimes after investigations, I just can't sleep.
Gotcha.
So, but I took a little nap. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
Well, Rhonda, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
All right. Oops, wrong mouse. Hold on. All right. Thank everyone for popping in. We've got Cindy Waghorn for Surrender and Shine. Kevin, Z-Sun Dragon, thank you for joining. We've got Sean Elliott in the house and Lois Clark and Vet Girl. And Sean said, I'm excited about this show. No pressure, Sean.
Hill City Paranormal.
I let you down. I mean, come on. And he said, that's Lynchburg for you.
There you go. That's right. It's true. But you know what? It's still a great time. So that's what matters.
That's all that matters.
Yep. And we're thankful you guys are here with us tonight. This is, like I said before, this is kind of a very unique and special night because someone I have been communicating and working with for a while now is joining us this evening. We're going to be talking about his path his connections, what he's experienced, and why all this happened. So, without further ado, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trail, but it must have used the wrong car. Head is in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but it have such a good time. I've been running, trying to...
Woo! Bringing him in with a little grease, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and you super freaks out there, your paranormal gobbleobbers and your supernatural doopy doos, welcome to the show, Chris Mendacee in the house. What?
Man, that had to be one of the most awesome intros I think I've ever seen.
Oh,
You did a good job.
thank you. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Chris?
Great. How about yourself? How are you guys making out?
Good.
Yeah. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I've heard a lot about you from Sean and Courtney.
You too.
Oh, nice.
Y'all beat me ahead.
I'm hoping it was all good.
Yes, all good. They keep telling me I need to come when you're hanging out with them. So
Oh, yeah, definitely. You just got to let us know. Pretty awesome.
We got a lot of things scheduled. Chris, you got a lot of things scheduled for this year. I know you'll be coming to Virginia a couple times and a couple of other places hanging out with us and doing some probing, if you will, here in Pennsylvania.
Yes. That is June, right? June at the Creeper Reel Festival. That's going to be a fun time.
There you go. And then we're going to get dates for something else down the road. I don't want to talk about yet because once we do it, then we'll release the evidence or what the findings were. But we will be traveling to Appomattox, Virginia this year, joining Chris and Big Daddy Sean Elliott, Big Daddy Diesel will be rolling with us. So we're really excited about some of the things. So let's jump right into it because I'm about some power punching tonight. Why in the hell are you in this field, dude? Why? How did you get in this damn field? Why?
Man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Nah. I'll start off from the beginning. So probably back in 2017, I was going through some issues, like obviously personal life issues and things like that. So I was spending a lot of times at my old house by myself. I was there. It was something new. It wasn't something that I was used to, being around the house by yourself. And there was times where I'll give you one example. I was watching TV. I was watching a TV show one time, and I could have swore I heard like a little kid come up and say, "Can I have some chips?" At the time, I have two kids, two daughters, and I was like, "No, you can't have no chips." And then I looked over. I'm like, "Oh crap, my kids aren't here. They haven't been here for like the past couple weeks."
Wow.
So that was a wild experience in itself, I want to say. And then from there, just started building up even more. There was times where I would go to bed at nighttime, and I would hear footsteps going up and down the hallway to the house. And just to give you guys like a picture, like of what the house used to look like, it was double wide. Obviously, you have the layout of it was you came in from the back door. The back door shot straight to the front door. So you had the kitchen, living room, dining room behind it, and the hallway, which combined all three rooms and the bathroom together. So at nighttime, you would hear the footsteps going back and forth. Aha. So,
Now you know.
You would hear I would hear footsteps, and those footsteps came with obviously me thinking, man, I must be going crazy. I don't know what's going on with me. Like I'm hearing these things. I don't know how to explain them. And from there, I reached out to a friend of mine who wasn't a friend of mine at the time. I just happened to meet him, and he was doing paranormal investigations. And I started talking to him about, my house and explaining to him what was going on. And then from there, he decided to want to do an investigation on my house, came over, we isolated the entire house. That's funny.
Yeah, she's gonna rub you. She's gonna rub us both.
I can't wait for Sean's comment. I'm sure he'll come in here soon. So long story short, he came out, did an investigation at the house. We isolated the whole house. We had his group was outside of my shed. We ran cameras. Back then, you didn't have wireless cameras. So you had to run all the cables and set different individual cameras up. And he came with
a pain in the ass, right?
Yeah. He had the old school Zoom recorders. You remember the 360 Zoom recorders that actually recorded and like it had 4 individual microphones and a recording each individual side. So he had 4 or 5 of them all together. Within 20 minutes of placing them around the house, the batteries completely died on them. That was like within a couple minutes of us walking in, and obviously probably 15 minutes before that, they were just running static. So we started changing the batteries. We started in the living room and worked our way all the way back to my bedroom, which was the last room in the hallway. So this is just for visual effects. So we're in the back bedroom, all the way in the back hallway. And clear as day, like I hear right from the living room, an older woman, sound like an elderly woman, saying, she was saying, it sounded like she said, hello, like, but it sounded, you ever had those old school microphones where it had the little spring on the inside when you talked into it, it actually said like vibrated?
Yeah.
The vibrating mics. Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what it sounded like. And the guy's name was Mike. I looked over at Mike. I was like, dude, did you hear that? He's staring at me like, I didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about. At this point, I'm like, I'm definitely going nuts. Like, I'm hearing things. There's got to be a way to try to figure out if this really did happen. And luckily, we had changed the batteries to the recorder in the living room, and we had a static camera that was facing straight down the hallway, which captured my entire facial expression and everything that said was happening. And sure enough, we played the audio back, and you hear the same exact woman that I explained to him and described to him that I heard. And at that point, I was hooked. I was like, there's no way in hell I heard that. And at the same time, it's trying to put 2 and 2 together. How was that a possibility? Like, was it from outside? Was it from the inside? It came directly from the living room, which was the same area that I heard it from. And luckily that recorder was there and it captured it clear as day. So from there on out, I ended up joining his group and I started doing investigations. And we started traveling, going places to just investigate. And that's kind of where it all started. I was hooked. But a lot of my experiences came specifically from that house itself. I'll tell you, I mean, that house was located in a place called Quinton, New Jersey, in Salem County. That whole area is well known for Native Americans. It's known for there's a church at one time during the Underground Railroad era that actually was burnt down with refugees inside of it. There's a lot of history to the paranormal in that location or that area that I didn't know about and I wasn't familiar with because at the time I wasn't really into it. And then that's kind of how everything else grew from there.
I mean, that's a lot of props. I don't know that I would investigate my own house. I mean, I've got things that happen here, but I'm not trying to put out anything. I mean, most of it, I believe, is like family members, lost pets that I've lost, things like that. But like, I got a new recorder, and one of my teammates were like, "Have you tried it out yet?" I was like, "Not in my house. I'm not trying the thing out in my house. I don't want to know what they have to say."
Yeah. Now, I mean, looking back at it, just from like the experience that I have now, obviously, I wouldn't do that now. I wouldn't investigate my own house. I don't recommend anybody investigate their own house, especially if you don't want the activity to amp up. But at that time, obviously being new to it and learning from it, I learned a lot of things just from that particular house itself and things that I saw that till this day. I mean, I've only told a handful of people like some of the experiences that I had there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely cool.
When you grow up and you interfere in that type of environment, and I use that word interfere, so it was correctly used for you guys. When you're interfering in that atmosphere, anything can happen. And as you're there, even though you think you're under control, that can actually create some PTSD for people. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, on top of that, like I also think that the reason I was connecting with some of the things and the reason I was actually dealing with some of the new activity that I was experiencing in that house was because of the time frame and the mindset that I was in. If that has any truth to it, I'm sure it does, but it's a lot of the activity that I've noticed, it usually happens depending on what time, like mind frame you're in and what kind of energy you're putting out. And I mean, that's kind of where I stand with that. So I think a lot of it had to do because of that and because of the time from that all of that was occurring.
Yeah, so you're a firm believer that we can actually push our energy into a location due to our emotions. So an emotional response, if you will, and that's where we get residual. Is that what you're?
That's, I mean, based on what I've seen, yes. And I'll give you a couple examples why I think that. There's certain locations that I investigated. One of them being Selma Mansion. I don't know if you're familiar with that location. That location always seemed to get all of my evidence when we're not paying attention to anything that's there, when we're just joking around, laughing, and just putting like good vibe, good energy into the atmosphere. And that's when everything seems to start picking up. Now, I brought several other people to that location where their energy somehow interacted with whatever was there, and it turned the entire vibe of the entire location negative. It made it feel like a heavy, heavy energy. I wouldn't say demonic, but I would say more of a like a negative or lower vibration spirits would somehow come out within that energy that the person was coming in there with.
Well, that's the other thing. We are walking into there. And if we're walking in with that crappy attitude, with it vengeful, not just crappy, if we have any form of vengeful attitude, any type of angry, projected emotions, I mean, think about what that's doing to that location. I mean, it's charging that bitch up.
Yeah, that, I mean, and I've seen. I'll give you another location. Penhurst Asylum. My first time ever investigating it there. The team that was there investigating were not respectful to the location.
Mhm.
They were amping everything that was there up. And that night, there was a lot of crazy things that happened. There was some people, we had to close the whole building down because of how wild and crazy the activity got. I don't know if you've ever or if you even think of the jumping aspect of it. Are you even a friend if you don't know the man's whole Dunkin' order?
We're going to come back to this stuff because we're going to bring those too.
We'll touch on that because I don't think the man even knew what he wanted to order. He was probably, Courtney, if you weren't there, I think he would have never ordered anything. He would just be like, nope, I don't want my mocha latte, whatever, with extra creams and extra whipped cream and everything else that he got.
Cream, get on top.
That's funny.
So, being up your way, I also, while I was doing a little bit, as I always do a little background on the people that are coming on to the show. Not just, I don't do background on people that I work with, but I do it on the show. And I see we got a lot of little connections of all over the place. I see you used to work with a friend of mine named Paul
Dixon.
Yeah,
Paul Dixon. Yeah, he's a hell of a guy, man. Paul's a great dude.
Known Paul 10 years now, almost.
Really? Yeah, Paul and Tina.
Yeah,
him and Tina.
Tina, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely wanted to give that props out. So I was really interested when I saw that. Now, with that being said, did you get to spend any time at my girl? Did you get to spend any time at Selma Mansion?
I did. I've investigated that place probably 5 or 6 times.
What do you think about Selma?
I like Selma. Selma, for me, it has been more of a hit or miss. And the reason I say that is because of the different type of people I brought there to investigate. The third floor is always active for me. That third floor has its own experience in itself. Some of the crazy experience that I had there, man, was the first time I ever went there. I heard I got right up to the third floor landing, and I'm looking over to the left where the servants' stairs used to be. And I, clear as day, saw somebody standing there. I'm like trying to talk to whoever was there, thinking it was actually somebody just walked in.
Yeah.
Then I hear like footsteps just like running full force, like toward the fire. What the hell was that? So I'm like shining a flash. I thought it was like when I heard the footsteps, I thought it was maybe like an animal or something running towards us. So I looked at it. It wasn't just me. It was somebody else that was there with me.
Yeah.
And we both heard it. We looked at it. Like, well, what the hell was that? Like we couldn't explain it. There was nothing there. Didn't see anybody after that. And I mean, like I said, that third floor is always active.
Interesting that you bring up the people and the. I'm trying to make the best word I can to use for this. Let's just say the outline shadow work of people, because one of my major experiences there as well as giving you a little confirmation was coming up the stairs at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, pulling up our camping gear. Because, yeah, we were one of the few people that stayed overnight on long weekends to lock it down for Bill. Used to do things beyond the paranormal there. We'll say that. And I was pulling up my gear. I had 2 sleeping bags, the rut bag coming up, and the bathroom between the 2 bedrooms. As I got almost to the eye level of the floor, I saw, I'm not going to say it was her, but I'm going to say I saw a lady from the 1700s, full silhouette, just the dark silhouette, go from one room to her room. Just, and I'm like, I didn't smoke anything. I'm not on acid.
Yeah.
So, there was other things there, but that intrigues me. But that's the second floor. I never had anything on the third floor with the exception of the walkie-talkies turning on. That's it. I had walkie-talkie turn on, communicate a little bit, and then shut off. That's just on the third. Even in the bathroom. The bathroom didn't bother me a bit. Bill's like, are you on crack? I'm like, doesn't bother me, dude. I could lay in the tub.
Yeah.
No, never affected.
So just to validate that, I did see the woman. The woman was in the back right-hand room on the second floor landing.
Yes. Back
right-hand room. We saw her the first time we ever went there. She was wearing a dress. The best way to describe her, she wasn't thin. She was like, she wasn't thick or thin. Probably thick. She wasn't like fat or anything like that. It was a lot. Yeah, like, I mean, thicker I guess is the
I'm gonna go with the word big boned.
Yeah. So, we saw her for a split second. That was right after we heard like a woman talking upstairs. So as we were coming up the steps, we looked over and we saw that, and it was just like a split second out of the corner of our eye, and it's gone. And there was 3 of us that experienced that there, which was neat. So
you encountered Mrs. Flournoy.
What's that?
You encountered Mrs. Flournoy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know the name. I still don't know the name to this. So the other thing is, like, when I go to these locations, I don't like knowing anything about them until afterwards. Mm-hmm. And even afterwards, I won't even, unless I get a name, that's when I'll start researching it. If I don't get a name or anything like that, like, it's just another location. And I don't mean to say that like to sound rude, but at the same time, is the less I know, the better it is, in my opinion.
Sorry, Courtney. let's
body shaming the spirit.
Yeah, let's jump into that.
It's hard to tell in the dresses they wore back then.
Spirits.
Yeah.
Spirits have feelings too, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, Rhonda, I can come up with that a little bit because we do know in the 1800s they had hoop skirts. So, they were attached and the skirt would fly over. It's exactly what this looked like. So, by definition of understanding what it looked like, that's where I would say it was probably Mrs. Flournoy. But with other experiences that I had there, confirming what Bill and I and the rest of us knew, yeah, that was interesting. Have you ever been in a room with 53 people and a huge paranormal event takes place in front of everybody?
No, I can't say that I have.
Happened at the first Preserving History Through the Paranormal at Stone Mansion. It was me and Bill, a gentleman named Shane, a couple others, and we were dealing with a group of 53 people. Bill had pulled everyone. Now, this is Bill Freeman. Love you, soul.
Yeah.
He was giving the doctrine to the crew for the public investigation. As we're all talking, you could hear furniture dragging across the floor on the second floor. Now, it was Sean, not Shane. Me, Sean, and the young lady that was with me all experienced it, all heard it because we were on the staircase. Bill looked at me and went, I'm on it. We ran up, shot up across the stairs. I took the second floor. Sean took the third floor. Nothing. As we came back down and got to the staircase, we could hear two men plainly talking, plainly in front of 53 people. Come on, now talk about a mass haunting there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up about a mustache, man? Ask him about the mustache. What's up with the mustache?
I don't know. They keep wanting me to leave like all of this, but I can't grow this. So it's like just this. So I can't. I shave it off. So I can grow a full beard and I'll keep it on. But unless she's referring to the Sean's mustache with his little emoji that we came up with that day. If I could send emojis right now, I'll definitely send the emoji that we came up with. It looked identical to Sean. Cowboy hat, mustache, and glasses.
See, I got to bring these out, so make sure everybody's seen and heard, because these two will bring it out to us because we ran with them, and there you go. Courtney. And she wanted to make sure she said something about, we can't be how do we put it in there? Let me grab it. That right there. That made me laugh. Like, okay, you know what? Valid. Then she hits me with that.
That's true. That is true. She's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, from my understanding, she was rich, right? Or at least that family was rich. And
yes.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Mary Todd Lincoln actually spent time there also.
That is correct. She did. She spent plenty of time there. It was all beginning from the Revolutionary War. Actually, Selma means the house on the hill. And the family who had it was the house that used to be literally on top of the hill, and it was one plantation that came down. So if you ever visit Norristown, Pennsylvania, you'll see it. It's got dips and woes, but the house is not moved. So it's in the same location where it always has been. And thank you, Courtney. Yeah. Let me see there. We were pure wealth back in that. So what are you saying about Miss Florida was rich? She was part of old money. I will say that. Majority of their money that came through all the way to the end of the two sisters owning and running Selma Mansion. Yes, it was old money that built up through periods of time and the company there. Yes, I will go with that. So let me do this. Let's jump into another way. Oh, what do we got here? Listen here, officers, tight pants. Leave my mustache alone.
But we must ask you a question.
That's hilarious.
So, brother, I'm going to ask this because this is something that's always asked, but I'm looking for some really in-depth answer on this one. What's your favorite place? Where has been your favorite place at this point to have gathered as research, and what were your experiences there? Because I know people want to hear this.
That's a good question. I can't really narrow it down to one place particular. I have a couple favorite places. One of which I've actually been doing a lot of research in as of recently, and she's a good friend of mine too. It's the I don't know if you heard of it. It's called the Convent Tattoo Shop. It's here in New Jersey. It's actually a tattoo shop that has experienced a lot of paranormal activity. I think a lot of it has to do with the land as well.
Okay.
Half of the tattoo shop was actually a house from the same area that was moved onto the shop itself and made together. Prior to it being a tattoo shop, it was actually a home where somebody stayed in. So they combined both of those locations together. You can see the split. And ever since she was, I believe she was on the show of Ghost Hunters. I think it was Right when Ghost Hunter split off, they were calling it something else. That might have been Ghost Hunter. She was in one of those TV shows, and ever
Okay.
since she was on that show, people started sending her all these haunted objects, and almost every single day she gets mail with all these types of different haunted dolls, haunted objects that are coming from all over the world, to the point where she actually just built a. I want to say it's a museum in her basement.
Now,
Which
who's that?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Who's that?
Her name's Sophia. The location is called the Convent Tattoo Shop.
Okay.
I actually did a video on that when I first started doing my videos, and I posted that out there.
We got some of that all ready to go too. So, you know, we'll throw some of that, and we might have to have you come back. I'm pretty sure we are. So we want to get into your brain.
Going back to that question, that's actually the most recent video that I posted of the light actually sliding away from me was at that location. Now I want to say the second place to me would be White Hill Mansion. White Hill is a location where for me it's close by.
Okay.
And then to top it off, a lot of the activity that we get there, it's always different. It's usually never the same.
Don't you love that?
Yeah. And going back to the silhouette of a woman in like a Victorian dress, that was actually one of my first places I actually seen one. Yeah, get a tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
All
do
my
it.
tattoos. Courtney, myself, and Sean just recently got tattoos. We actually ended up getting at a place called the Coven Tattoo Shop, not the Convent. Very similar. Just no haunted dolls there.
But yet it's still active at that shop too, from my understanding.
Yes.
So,
Well, one of the coolest videos I think that I'm going to be using on the video that I'm making for that location was a full body apparition that appeared in a split second video.
nice.
It literally appeared. It was a split second. She caught it on her security camera. She has cameras all around the whole location, and you see this big flash of light. Took probably maybe a millisecond, and if you take that video and you slide back to it and you slow it down, and then you stop at that exact frame, you see a full body apparition of a woman with long hair, white dress, and just standing there. Something you would see on a horror movie, which is
Right.
but cool. What else did I get there? I got a really cool talking about her cameras. She has all these cameras. They're PTZ. They pan, tilt, zoom, find motion. They track you. We were in the basement, and I was setting up to do our shot in the basement and do our investigation down there. And cameras focused all the way on the back corner of the basement near stage, and it was just focused there. It wasn't moving. It wasn't being activated. My voice wasn't being activated by my motion. It wasn't picking anything up other than that corner. It was just strictly focused on that corner.
Yeah.
I set a camera up next to it, facing exactly where it's going or where it was facing. And I come back and I sit down. I go to sit on the table that we were all sitting in. And I have a camera angle like of us too. And as I'm getting ready to sit, you hear the camera shift towards me. It moves, faces me, and you hear a little girl's voice coming through and saying, "Hey, what are you doing there?" Clear as day. The only person that has access to that camera is her. She wasn't on her phone at the time. And I even looked at that camera's it was a Eufy camera. Eufy only has male voices, and you can only activate those male voices through the doorbell cameras. Only the doorbell cameras are the ones that have the voices into it.
Okay.
So this camera did not have that ability. Didn't have the ability to actually have a voice come through it, other than you physically being on the phone and holding down your talk button to talk through the camera.
Right.
And till this day, I still can't explain it. But it was cool. It was definitely a cool evidence that we got there. I caught her on both cameras, thank God. You hear more clear on one camera than you do the other, which is a little weird too, because both cameras were relatively close to each other. And the fact that the audio comes through clear on the camera that was further away than the one that was closer to it, it's kind of hard to explain too.
Okay. Well, look, we've got some cuts for you. I want to bring out so people can see some of your stuff. If you didn't see the promo videos, the reels this week, let's cut over to that. and let's get people to see some of your stuff here. Let's roll it.
Awesome.
Chris Mendacee is one of our newest creators here on the Signal Network, and he is going to be bringing the absolute paranormal fire to your television screen. So, Chris, welcome in, and how are you, pal?
Good. How about yourself? Thank you for having me. This is pretty awesome so far, being a part of this network and being a part of you guys, and you allowed me the opportunity to be a part of it, which is great.
You allowed us the opportunity to have you as one of our creators. So, it's really cool. Chris and I met a couple years ago through I think through a mutual friend, and we went ghost hunting the first time we ever met. We went ghost hunting together. I think it's pretty much how I remember it, right?
Yeah.
And we went out to Huntington, Pennsylvania, to the Clifton Theaters, and we caught some crazy stuff in this old theater. That's not the video we're premiering tonight, but I definitely want everybody to get excited. As you guys come in, do me a favor, hit the share button, and also...
Now, I wanted to bring this up because this way you get a good spotlight of the network you're dealing with, right? And
Yes.
I really wanted that time for you to talk about your show and talk about the network. I mean, that's what we're all here for. We want to know where and how to get there and what you're doing now and how are you doing it and what are your experiences. And, I've taken the time this week to go look through your stuff. You got some good shit out there, man. I'm just going to let you know about that, in my opinion. I've been in this for a long time and I saw some good stuff. So I want to give you some props on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so as of last year, I became part of obviously the Signal Network. I've been doing a lot of my releases. When my actual full video releases are only being released on the Signal Network. For right now, I've been doing obviously a lot of filming. We just came back from PA from filming at the Doll's House and also the prison that's there. All of which, talking about the prison a little bit, Sean and I actually came up with a really good conclusion, and we think we may even have discovered a tunnel in the prison that nobody even knows about or has even, how do I put this? They've had the idea behind it that there was a tunnel in the prison. And I want to say that I think we discovered the location. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that we did discover the location of
Nice.
which is cool in itself.
Mhm.
But all of that is actually going to be, obviously, it's going to be the videos that I'm going to be putting together here. And they'll be getting released at the Signal Network on the Supernatural Untold Story playlist.
Yeah, and that's on YouTube.
But as far as that goes, I mean, it's been awesome just going to different locations, investigating and putting these videos together and having my own creative mindset behind it to actually be able to put these videos together. It's been pretty cool.
Very cool.
A little bit slower than what I like, but it's definitely going to be cool once I have all these videos just to put out. As of right now, I think there's about 4 or 5 of them released, all about approximately like an hour each. One is a 2-parter of about 45, 50 minutes or so.
Okay.
Lower House of Horror was one of the latest one that got released. That was actually a really cool video. And an investigation in itself. There's a lot of things that I didn't get to put in that video that I kind of wish I would have been able to put in there. But I was just running so out of time with different videos. Like we probably would have sat there for maybe like 3 hours watching that video in itself, with the amount of activity and with the amount of evidence that we got during that investigation.
Yeah. I see Cordy puts in here, when will the episode be aired on the Signal Network, Chris?
So the episodes are already released. There are some other episodes that I'm currently working on.
Mhm.
Once that gets closer, I don't like just releasing one episode at a time. I like releasing maybe like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 at a time. Not at a time, but like within a relatively close time frame.
Yeah.
So once I have at least 2 or 3 of them done, I'll go ahead and forward it to them, and they'll post them, and we'll start letting everybody know. I'll let everybody know on my end, on my social media platforms, the Supernatural Untold Stories, and also the Signal Network. We'll be posting some stuff out on there.
Now, am I right in this and that you did a short on Black Dahlia? Is that correct?
I did.
All right. You know what? Let's bring this up, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Let's bring that up and show you some more of what Chris's hands can do. Let's pop it up here.
Did you know?
Now, I love those. And I'm going to tell you why. I like these shorts because it's like throwing a fish hook at you and grabbing it. And for those people who are interested, like grabbing them by the mouth and go, oh, I got to get in there and see what's going on. It's, you know, I love those shorts. I love
Thank
when
you.
people do that.
I
think-
appreciate that.
Mhm.
They were when I was doing a lot of recently. I've been doing just a lot of shorts based off of the investigations, my live investigations that I've been doing. I've been taking all of the evidence and actually just posting the evidence out by itself. And there's times where I post like funny things, like my latest shorts I just posted. I'm sitting. Actually, this was with Courtney and Sean when we were filming over at Doll's house.
Okay.
Courtney had this great idea to have her live viewers choose where I go to investigate by myself without even consulting me.
Mhm.
So long story short, they ended up choosing for me to go to the attic, and nobody's investigated that attic as of yet. And yeah, that was my first time going up in that attic. I think anybody's first time going up in that attic and sitting up there and doing an EVP session. And it didn't disappoint. We got a lot of good evidence. I mean, to the point where I had this crazy ball of light fly towards me that I can't explain. I literally can't explain it. The window that was closest to the attic was sitting right across from another house that was directly right next to it, very close proximity. There's nowhere near the street. You're not going to have any sort of lens glare, anything, any light play, I should say, in that room in itself. And yeah, it was interesting. I got to watch that with my eyes, and it was actually recorded on the live too. A lot of people in the live got to see it.
Nice. I want to put it out there because not also do we have videoers, but we have listeners. So for those who are listening on podcasts, I want to read some of these comments. Courtney's dropping in. Chris is an amazing videographer. Y'all follow Supernatural Untold Stories for more content. Sean drops by behind and says, Chris is actually one hell of a content creator. His episodes are far better than all of the Hollywood TV shows out there. Look at them. They're giving you some
Look at that.
mad props
Thank
there.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sean's a natural though. I've given him like a couple little tips here and there, and he's just taken off, and he's outdone me. He's doing way better than I am.
He's got some good shit. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
He
He's got
does.
some
He
good
does.
content. Rhonda, girl, you got any questions?
I don't.
No. This is one of those nights we're just gonna flow.
Yeah, I think you've got it all under control.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't want to dive into too much because right now I can honestly tell all of you, if Chris and I start talking, there's going to be a shitload of rabbit holes. So we really don't. I don't want to put that on everybody tonight, but at least you're getting a view of knowing who Chris is, and when he comes back, hopefully you will accept our invitation to come back this year.
Of course.
We'll dive deeper into these conversations, theories, because there's a lot out there. But there is one. Hype squid. I learned
Hype
from you,
squad.
sir.
Like it. Oh,
All right, so there is one thing, because this is one thing that I got involved with. This is actually the first thing that I got involved with you and Sean on that brought this to a complete board of decision and talking, if you will. I'm going to use that phrase. You and Sean were at the Sandusky house, and you took a specific photograph outside.
video, yes.
The video, yep. And something you caught I've never seen before ever in the field and intrigued the shit out of me. Now, I'm not going to bring this up this time, but when we get deeper into the holiday, I will get the photo so everybody can see it. Rhonda, if you want to, you can go to Hill City Paranormal, go to their page, and you can see the video. What it was was Sandusky's a 3-story.
Oh, I saw that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And in this situation, at the front door, while upstairs in the window to the right, 2 figures are seen at the same time. And they were not any of the public people, Sean or Courtney. This is all proven. So Sean's like, check this shit out. Holy crap. I'm like, what do you got? So he sent it to me. He goes, what do you think? I'm like, damn, you've got a double capture. A double fucking capture. Sorry. Throw it out there. Sorry. All right. So, and I got excited. I said, who did this? He goes, Chris Mendacee. I'm like, well, let's talk. You know? And I looked at it more and I started looking and trying to think, how could this be possible? What are the significant points? Could those entities know of each other? Or are they 2 different situations in time? Or is it residual and intelligent? Oh, told you, rabbit holes from hell. Just going. So let's do this real quick. We got 11 minutes left. What is your point of view in dimensional theory?
Dimensional? I mean, I think we walk through different dimensions every single day without even realizing it. This is an example I always give when I get that question asked. It's the chapstick theory. You put your chapstick down at your house or your keys, and 2 minutes later you go back, you're looking for it. You know you put it down on that table. That table is, your keys aren't there, and your chapstick's not there. You go back, you go out of the room, you walk back in, you check all over the place, you come back to the same place you looked at the first time, and there they are.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know you didn't just walk through different dimensions and the dimensions you were currently in without knowing that you were in it? Mandela. Is actually a different dimension.
Now, so, okay.
I do believe that we do walk through different dimensions without even realizing it.
That's kind of like the butterfly effect.
Correct.
The single whip of the wing changing everything at one point in time.
Yeah, and the Mandela effect. Think about the Mandela effect. Like you have 2 different names of, the Bearstein Bear. You have, there's all sorts of different Mandela effect theories out there that makes you think.
And it's continuing. There are new ones every day. And I was talking with Sean about this when we were talking about dimensions. And this is not something I really talked to Rhonda about because sometimes I over-talk her and I don't mean to. It's just I got a lot to go. And I try to help her absorb, but there's a lot of shit. So, working with Rhonda has been great because I'm listening to her spiritual side and bringing the science and spiritual together. I think that's an amazing moment. How do you feel about the spiritual crossing to the dimensional? You have a point of view on that factor?
Honestly, so this is an idea that I've had for a while, and I don't even know how to test the theory. Let's call it a theory.
Okay, yeah.
What if what you're seeing and you think you're dealing with like the paranormal, you're dealing with like spirits, aren't really spirits? What if we're just looking into a different time frame? What if we're looking at a different era? Something that's continuing to live, going back to the dimension, in a different dimension at a different time frame that you're currently living in. Like, let's say it's 2025 here. How do you know you're not looking into something that's in the future or the past?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just looking in through that space, and that time difference just somehow interacts with the time that you're currently in. And it's really not a spirit. It's just you being able to see into a different dimension and being able to see into a different time frame, different era from the time that you're currently living in.
Well, I've wondered that as well, because when you dive into the spiritual side of things, even the shamanic side of things, they talk about how spirits can be in multiple places at multiple times. So, if Howie and I shared a friend who passed over, they could be with me here in Richmond, they could be with him there, and we could maybe interact with them at the exact same time. So that would make total sense to me.
Oh, that would fry my brain.
Well, it all goes back to, if you think about it, it's same thing I go back to all the time when I start talking about the paranormal, is the Albert Einstein theory, when he talks about the unified field theory.
Yes.
The unified field theory. You control space, you control time, and if you control time, you control space. So you can be anywhere at any time, whenever you want to. And that's one of his biggest mysteries that people somehow believe he accomplished.
You know, it's true because based on what he actually gave out to us, everything that was written, if you think about it, he's the actual individual that told us specifically the possibility using science. Now, hold on when I say that, because when I speak on this, how many of you out there still think that an atom is a solid material? How many of you have been taught that an atom is a materialistic solid mass? Just ask that question real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken.
In my opinion, I don't believe it's a solid material. An atom is made up of different forms.
Yeah.
There's different things out there that make an atom. So it's not one specific item, it's multiple items making it.
I will go with that. Einstein proved the theory that atoms are not a solid form, they are a gaseous form. So the different gaseous forms will create the matter. Now that intrigues me. So we're going from a gas to a matter. So there is that missing puzzle. It's like the missing puzzle, the missing link in the spiritual community or in ghost, if you will. It's there. There's just one little thing that's missing to prove. And I'm not going through the God theory. I understand that, you guys. But the fact is, there's that one little point that's out there somewhere that can define a spirit or ghost. And it's scientific. I feel like it's scientific. Along with faith, Rhonda. I'll go with that.
And if you start thinking about the paranormal aspect and the paranormal theory behind everything, you can start dating things back to the Egyptians. Think about the Egyptians. They believed in gods. They believed that these gods came from outer space.
Yep.
And that these outer space beings were giving them knowledge and information that they weren't really able to accomplish here. And if you think about it, to this day, you can't replicate a pyramid. Mm-hmm. They had the ability to have free energy. I mean, they're still discovering things nowadays that, like lights, for instance, that don't need any power to power it up. It's just based off of what type of stove that they're using.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, this is what, millions of years or thousands of years, whatever the case may be. Like, and yet we're still not even to the time frame that they were in technology. That's just my opinion. Like, I think that we can't be the only thing around here, especially when it comes down to like spiritual beings and things for that matter. I mean, you got to get this information from somewhere.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the time and the era. Like maybe these things were traveling time or coming from a different time frame. They're coming from the future, teaching the people in the past like what these things were and how they can recreate it and how they can redo it. Going back to the pyramids, look at the different etching in the pyramids that they had, all these different type of things, and now you can recreate with the laser technology.
Yeah, and the lasers are defining the mathematics as well. That's intriguing as well. I got to go with that. We're right there at the end, Chris.
Awesome.
They'll tell you the show can fly, dude. It can really fly. Dude, if you would, we'd like to extend that again. Invitation to come back this year, talk some more and get in depth about some rabbit holes. Now that the travelers out there know who you are.
Of course. Well, thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and thank you all for supporting my channel and continuing to support the stuff that I do. And
speaking of which, get it out there, man. Let's do some promo. Where are you going to be? Where they find you?
Sure. So you can find me on Signal Network. All my videos will be posted on the Signal Network under Supernatural Untold Stories. All of my social media pages are Supernatural Untold Stories. You can find me TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Anything you have, you can find me on. A lot of the information that I post that are up to date and current would be on Facebook and Instagram. So for any new upcoming events or anything that I'm going to be at, just look on Facebook and I'll post everything on there. In addition to June, Courtney and Sean, if you guys are watching, comment the date below and let us know exactly what date. We're going to be at the Creep and Real Festival, which I got to get good at that. I got to remember those dates because I can't. How many dates going on in my head right now?
They're all starting to run together, aren't they?
Listen,
Gotta get together. Season's starting, man.
I could have sworn today's podcast was at 8. And I'm sitting here putting a light outside the house. It was 6:20. You sent me. Thank God you sent me that message. If not, I've been here till 8 o'clock. Yeah. So long story short, you'll find me on like I said, social media, Instagram, Supernatural Untold Stories, and all of my new videos and everything. I'm posting different little clips on all of my social media, like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Trying to build my YouTube channel back up. I just obviously all my new logos and everything that I created with the new page for Supernatural Untold Stories. I'm rebuilding my viewers and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So I'm posting on there. So if you guys want to follow, I'll definitely be posting new content. As right now, I'm posting almost daily. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Thank you guys again for having me on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we totally dig it. You guys check us out in an hour right there on the freaking awesome paranormal playlist where you get a little 70s going. You know, check out Chris's stuff. Check us out. We'll be back next Sunday with something else, something unique as always. A little change up tonight. We're just keeping it down to you. We're gonna let y'all go with some funk.
Slipping, dodging, sneaking, peeping, hiding out down the street. See my life shaking with every who I meet. Root fried confusion is making itself clear. Wonder which way I go to get on out of here. 'Cause I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. And I done said the right thing.